He kind of cockeyed there. And then my phone goes nuts. All right. So, says we're rolling. Got everything set up so I ain't making noise on the YouTube side. I'll turn my phone off so it quits making noise here. Well, Garrett says loud, and 11 Bang Bang says in clear, so I guess the guys are over there watching. It's funny, is on the YouTube side, it's got a delay on it, but on the StreamYard side, it's popping up real fast. I don't know what the heck the deal is with that. Strange. So, anyway, I'll give it a little while here before we get too in depth with anything, because I think it says there's only 3 people watching. Which with me got the thing open to watch the chat, and you guys 11 Bang Bang, I think they're probably the only ones here. Yeah, I was going to try to run one last night, and I was just deadgum tired when I got home from work last night after, 5 days at work. I just got home, sat down in the chair, started watching Ken Burns, Lewis and Clark, and then, I woke up and it was into the second part of that documentary, which is a 2-part series, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go to bed. I went to bed before the sun went down. Big D, everything's going pretty good so far. I haven't got to fire the big cannon yet, but we got to do a lot of training with it. Being it's such a big cannon. I mean, it's 12-pound mountain howitzer. So I imagine we're going to do that this week. Probably do a lot of drill, and then this week should be starting to, the week after this week, should be getting into some more living history stuff. So it'll be fun. But yeah, so far everything's been good. Today, I had a day off. I got today and tomorrow, but weather was nice today, so I took the dogs and we went for a little drive. The absolute nicest thing about where I'm living at, compared to how far I got to commute to work, I put a full tank of gas in last week on Tuesday. Filled it up to the top. So after I drove the dogs around for a little bit, came into went into the town of Guernsey where I go to get groceries and stuff, and I filled up, and I only put in 3.5 gallons of gas. So between my little 30-mile jaunt where I took the dogs around and driving back and forth to work 5 days, I only used 3 gallons of gas. So it's nice. But I get to put a new clutch and throw-out bearing in the Jeep. So I guess what I'm saving in gas, I'm going to put into it in maintenance. Oh, looks like Dryball Jimmy's here. Must not be watching that other woman that he watches that paints on YouTube. And if any of you are wondering, Dryball Jimmy's my uncle. You've probably seen him in the background in a couple videos. So back when I was doing lots and lots of shooting videos, I haven't done hardly any. That was the other thing I was driving around today, is trying to find a spot where I could go shoot at, but I didn't really look more for places where I could hunt at than I wound up looking for places to shoot at. And I wanted to go see what the activity was at the lake. But being as I get paid tomorrow, I can buy my fishing license tomorrow. At that time in the afternoon, I get my fishing license bought, I might just go fishing. See how that works. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little slow tonight. I don't know if that's YouTube or people just aren't interested anymore. I imagine YouTube's got something to do with it, but I noticed that the chats have really been, the viewing of the chats has kind of slacked off a little bit. All right. I'm going to go over and just speaking of that, I want to look at some couple things here. Yeah. Numbers are low. Oh, well. So hopefully my internet's going to hold out here. It's been doing pretty good, but I found that I can't run multiple things on the internet. So if I'm watching like a movie through the Xbox, I can't look up really much on the internet here. I can watch YouTube videos if it goes like to the lowest resolution that it'll go, which you can't see nothing on. But yeah, when you only run one thing, it's great. But I'm hoping here that it's going to be good enough. I might try to do a video here or so in the future on some holster stuff. Just to put out some other content besides live streams. And we'll see how good the internet is. See if it'll, how long it'll take to upload a video. You might see a nose poke up over one of these corners here of the chair. There's Dolly sniffing around. Okay, Big D, how's the powder caps or ammo caps and powder situation in my area? Sounds like it's about dry as everywhere else, but I'm going to make it to the gun store tomorrow. I want to see what they got, what they carry. The last couple of weeks I've tried to go. I keep missing them. They're not open Monday. They're only open Tuesday. And last week when I went to go get groceries, I drove down there and I left here at 7:30 in the morning. Being as I get up for work, I'm pretty much out the door by 7:30 in the morning. And they didn't open until 8. And I had frozen stuff in the back of the Jeep. So I thought, I'm just going to go home. And I had the dogs inside because it was raining. They're like, I'm going to go home and I don't have to clean up dog poop or my frozen stuff doesn't thaw out. So I haven't made it to the gun store yet, but I'm going to try it tomorrow. And tomorrow I got a call to get the dog into the vet. It's like, all this cool stuff that I want to do and responsibilities keep getting in the way. I got to get the dog to the vet so she can get her shots. And then, then I'm going to have the fun of putting that freaking new clutch in the Jeep. Thankfully, it's not bad yet. My landlord's a mechanic, and he said that it's got a while. It's just kind of squealing right now for the throw-out bearing. So he says that's what's going out. But he says until it starts making horrific grinding noises, I'm probably still safe. But he said, Baines, I got to drop the transmission to replace the throw-out bearing. Might as well replace the clutch right there because the two usually go together pretty good. Or wear together pretty much. Garrett, yeah, I have listened to a couple Coulter Walls. I like their song, Johnny Boy. I think it's Johnny Boy. I don't remember. He sounds a lot like Johnny Cash. But yeah, that's the only song of his I've gotten. I don't know why my face is itching right here. Probably got some pollen on it. Oh, Jesus, Garrett. $125 for Fiocchi 45 Colt. The hell was it? Gold plated? That's ridiculous. I got enough 45 Colt brass, and I've got enough black powder. Thing I don't have a lot of is primers. And I've got all the lead I need. If I had the right bullet mold, I could do my reloads, but I didn't bring a lot of that stuff with me. I didn't think I was going to need it, so I didn't bring it. But, yeah, tomorrow, if I don't go fishing, I got to work on leather too, because I got a bunch of stuff. So right now, I don't have a whole lot in the way of orders. So if people want to start ordering holsters, go ahead. I've got to get, Garrett's got a few that I've got to get finished up here from 11 Bang Bang. And I've got 1 or 2 that are paid for that I got to get finished up. I screwed up and I cut one out. It was supposed to be left-handed, and I cut it out right, and then the one that was supposed to be right-handed, I cut it out left, so I gotta recut them tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna start cutting up some leather tomorrow, and hopefully I have enough. I'm gonna have to order some leather anyway, but hopefully I have enough here to get everything so far that's ordered. But yeah, if you're looking for holsters, go ahead and start ordering, and always check out the Etsy store. I've still got 4 of those over there, mostly left-hand stock. All right, Garrett, I'll have to look that up if I remember that. Yeah. Most of the music I've been listening to lately has just been movie soundtracks. Lonesome Dove. That was the other one I was listening to. Oh, excuse me. I just ate supper, so I'm about ready to go to bed. See what the hell is it? Yeah, Lonesome Dove is one I've been listening to a lot of, and The West. I at work I was getting rid of a bunch of CDs that were just laying around that I guess they had played on a radio in the bookstore at some point in time. So I was giving them away. So I grabbed the one from The West, that PBS documentary. Been listening to that at work a lot when I'm doing my research stuff. But other than that, I haven't been listening. I don't have that long drive to work. I haven't been listening to a lot of music. But I got a lot that ranges from Five Finger Death Punch to Johnny Cash, movie soundtracks. Oh, God, I can't even keep track of what all I got on there. Oh, a lot of Marty Robbins. I listen to a lot of Marty Robbins. I need to get Johnny Horton back on my phone again, too. But my phone, I don't know why. The memory's all screwed up. So the internal memory on the phone is about shot. And I've got a decent sized SD card in it. And that's what I got all my music on. Well, when I try to go to download music to my phone, it won't download because it doesn't have any internal memory left, but it won't automatically download to the card. So if I want to do it, I got to hook the phone up to the computer and then download it that way. It's a pain in the butt. But I ought to get Johnny Horton on there and some Johnny Cash. Yeah, I guess that's a small price to pay being so close to work. I don't get to listen to all the music, but I get to save on gas. And I don't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to the opening shift. I can sleep in till 6:30. And if they start putting me on the late 9 o'clock shift, I can go to sleep. I can sleep till 8 o'clock. I just don't hope they put me on the 11 to 7 p.m. shift because that will suck. Rather have the 7 to 3:30. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty quiet out there. Only 7 or 8 visitors. Either YouTube didn't give an advertisement or Monday night isn't a good night to do a chat. Hey, Garrett, let's listen to that Bob Fudge. That sounds like a song about a fat guy. Which that would apply to me. I like my fudge. Anyway, joking aside. Yeah, I wonder if there is another live chat going on tonight. Maybe it's kind of slow. Oh, shit. Well, I hope my buddy Henry's safe down in Texas. They got a tornado warning in Lubbock. So, Henry, I don't know if you're watching or not, but if you are, I hope it's safe down there. Still says Guns of the West is live, which I know he's not live because I watched his live stream today and he ended it about 3:30. And from what I'm looking at on my end, watching on YouTube, holy crap, the video quality ain't worth a crap tonight. Maybe that's the problem I've got. I don't know if I shut down my Xbox if it would improve upon it or not. Might just do that here. I've been watching Vikings. That's what I've been watching here before I started live chat. Not that I got fed up with Deadwood, but I was getting to where I was just quoting it nonstop. I'm like, you know what? I know it by heart now. Probably ought to watch something else. Big D. No, I'm still learning on that Herman Oak. I found that if you really soak the crap in neatsfoot oil before you start bending it around, it really helps it out. So basically doing most of the finishing process before you do the sewing, which I'm adapting that technique, and it actually works extremely, extremely well. So I did that. I've got just one holster here, and I still haven't finished this SOB because I started working on this bag over here that I've been trying to get done. I got the other pain in the ass part in the back that I haven't worked on for a little while. But so this holster here, which, you know, look on the outside, looks like my regular 1851 Navy holster, except for it's got the cutout there for the trigger guard on the inside, which this is a copy of original. The only difference is that copy I found out was for a 3rd model Dragoon, so it's actually a little bit bigger holster. Anyway, so on this one, you can really see the stitch line because I did all the dyeing and stuff before I stitched. So what I found out is that Herman Oak was just, and I think I got some bad Herman Oak, to be honest, but it was crinkling and crackling and breaking like a cracker when I tried to fold it over some of that stuff. And so I thought, well, I'll just oil the hell out of it and see if that makes any difference. Now, this one came out of my second piece of Herman Oak, which the leather was a lot softer than that first piece. That first piece was just terrible compared to this. So I dyed it. I oiled the hell out of it, and I put more oil on it than I usually put on it, and it's still not seeping oil, so apparently it was pretty thirsty. Anyway, yeah, I put the oil to it, and that allowed it to soften up, and then I just folded it around. I didn't have to wet this one at all, and it didn't really fight me that much. I just bent it over and sewed it up, and it worked real good. So I'm gonna make a slight adjustment to my technique, but yeah, that gives it a nice stitch line. See, before when I'd stitch it and then dye it, you couldn't see the stitch line because the thread took all the dye, or took up the dye, I should say. It didn't take it all, but it took up the dye. So it's a work in progress, constantly learning, constantly trying to make better quality stuff. Me and tooling still ain't getting along real well, but we're making progress. I screwed up and went off and left one of my tooling stamps at home, and I don't know where in the hell I left the SOB at. But it's my edge beveler, or yeah, the edge beveling stamp. And it's got a little bit of texture on it. I left that at home, and I think I got my real steep edge beveler at home too. And I do not know, because I was carrying it in my pocket one day because I was doing my tooling away from my table, and I don't know where it went. Okay, Big D says Herman Oak is dry. Wicked and Craig leather is about the same, although it doesn't hold stamps as well. Herman Oak. Okay, that's good to know. Well, if it's dry, then I'll just have to make sure that before I start bending on it, I'll just make sure to apply generous amount of neatsfoot oil. So, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. I kind of wished I had a sewing machine so I could sew stuff faster. Just I'd be able to make quicker progress, especially on like these saddlebags. God, they take a long time. So, and maybe I could do belts again. I'd start doing belts then, not again. Start doing them then. I've been thinking about doing belts. I just, like I said, with hand stitching, I don't really want to do that. Especially, I think if it's a regular belt, yeah, I could do just a plain belt, but with cartridge loops and stuff, that's be a pain in the butt. It is a pain in the butt to do by hand. Although I found out that the belt that I did for myself with the pull-through loops that aren't stitched, or well, they shouldn't be stitched. I found copy of original picture of original, I should say, not a copy. I found a picture of original. They're not stitched in there either. So really, I wouldn't have to do that. But I remember very well putting that thing together when I did mine, and it's a pain in the butt. Because I couldn't just, whatever reason, it wouldn't let me pull the leather through. I'd have to weave it through, then weave it back, and stick a cartridge in there, and then weave it through and weave it back. And I did one that did cartridges from pretty much buckle to buckle, or from whatever the things are that hold the buckles. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, 54 belt loops is what that thing had on it. And really, that belt is too big for me. I'm a good sized guy. I'm no skinny little twig. Even after my COVID weight gain, still at 275, that thing is still too damn big. I could have cut it back about 3 inches. But one of these days I'm going to get it, and I'll get it finished up. I ain't got much left to do with it. I just need to dye it really and slick the edges, and it'd be done. 11 Bang Bang. What are my thoughts on Mark Hibbs' latest video? Oh boy, he really brought some things to light and changed my opinion of the Colt 31 pocket model. That's for certain. I figured that thing, and of course, he was using his bullet mold, so that thing's going to have a little stouter powder. It's going to have a little bit better with the 4F powder. I commented on there. I didn't see that he had responded to it, but that maybe try it with 3F and see how it compared. But yeah, with 4F powder, that bullet was screaming out of there. And performance-wise, I mean, for black powder cartridge, I was impressed. Well, I shouldn't say black powder cartridge. For a black powder cap and ball, I was impressed. Yeah, that was nice. That was good stuff. But I can see now I need to go and do the double mainspring like he did. Although after I was watching Dustin's live stream earlier today, and some of you may have been there. Well, I know Garrett was there. Yeah, he was talking on there, and he said, Slick Shots didn't have them for pocket models. I remember Slicks had said something on their website at one time that they was going to have them. So I went and looked, and sure enough, they've got them now. So I sent the link to Dustin, and being he just got a pocket model, maybe he won't have those problems. But I'm going to try out the Slick Shots before I double up on the mainspring, and see how well they perform. That, and I don't even know if I could get a mainspring right now because parts are hard to find for some of these things. But yeah, I was really impressed with Mark's video. I mean, I was surprised by that little 31. It was a little 31 that could. Yeah, Big D, carpal tunnel syndrome. I got that bad, and trying to do cartridge belts. Yeah, even doing this holster. Well, doing anything right now. Ever since I got up here, I don't know why my carpal tunnel's gotten acting up, but yeah, I sewed the other night. I didn't do anything last night, but the other night I finished up sewing on the pouch. What I'd started on the pouch for the other pommel bag that I'm working on, and yeah, when I got done, I couldn't really run this hand. I can touch these, touch that one. Cannot touch that. Damn it. Just feel like somebody's running a nail up my on my tendon when I do that. But yeah, and then you sit there and try to hold that together all day and pull them needles through. I was like, ugh. And my stitching horse, like on flat stuff, my stitching horse does good. But on something round like that, stitching horse ain't worth a crap. Because it won't get tight on it. You try to clamp it here, well, then the thing just keeps falling out. So it's easier for me just to sit in this chair and poke the holes in the stitch and hold it by hand. But yeah, carpal tunnel sucks. Hey, there's Destin. Yeah, that pocket model. I can guarantee you, Destin, pocket model, the spring's going to suck on it. It's going to be pretty light. Just Uberti, I don't know what they're doing. Their springs just keep getting weaker and weaker as they go on. Like they're doing is trying to produce them for as cheap as they can. And the cheaper they get, well, the crappier they get. The Walker I bought in 2012, that mainspring on that SOB was stout. The Walker that I bought in 2015, that spring is not stout. I mean, maybe a third of the power of the other one. So yeah, not impressed with Uberti springs. Pieta springs, however, still maintain they're good, and I will go to my grave with the belief that Pieta has superior steel to Uberti. And if Pieta would quit marking their damn guns on the side of the barrels and change their case hardening process a little bit and make a slight adjustment to their grip profiles, Pieta would be a top line producer. Because for function wise, if you're going to buy one that you're going to shoot the shit out of, buy a Pieta. Pieta's going to outrun Uberti any day of the week. On the other hand, if Uberti would start making their guns with the same steel that Pieta uses, because Pieta's a cheaper end and they got better steel. How the hell does that happen? Other than I know Pieta uses CNC machining, and I know Uberti's probably uses it to a point, but Pieta's, I'll grant that they're not as finely fit together at the gunsmith factory as the Uberti's are, but still, it's, you got a gun that will outrun the other one for a fraction of the price. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me again. Oh boy. Springtime in the Rockies. Hey, Thomas. Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you, even for a short time. Yeah, it's pretty quiet tonight. I'm finally up to 10 viewers. But imagine it's going to happen is it's going to do like it did one of those other chats where I was on for about 45 minutes, was about to give up, and all of a sudden, kaboom! Everybody showed up at once. Yes, Destin. I agree with you on that on Pieta too. And the reason why Pieta doesn't do that is because at the time, there wasn't a big market for conicals. There really wasn't. Uberti was making them true to spec, but there wasn't that many conicals available. Now that Arizgon Bullet Molds is out there, and Mark's got all these nice, wonderful bullets out in the market. Hey, 6-shooter. And Mark's got those bullets on the market. There's no reason Pieta can't adapt to that. But, the reason they did, like I said, round ball's the only thing that was around at that time. And pardon me, my snorting and sniveling, my allergies are acting up here this evening. And I imagine the apple tree out in front and the apple tree out in back and all the other damn trees and everything else is blooming around here. Had something to do with that. One thing to curse the rain for. Can't curse the rain too much, though. We definitely need it. Hey, there's Trapper Paul. See, I told you, everybody. I said just about the 30-minute mark, we're going to start seeing people jump in. All right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much everything going on here. Like I said earlier, I'll repeat it for everybody coming in. It's been going pretty good here, new gig. Can't wait to fire that big mountain howitzer, though. I wish they still fired the Gatling gun, but I guess Park Service said you can't fire originals. But yeah, one of these days I'm going to get in and get a picture of that Gatling gun, get a close-up picture, because I heard through the grapevine that we was going to put the Gatling gun on display in the visitor center. And if that's true, I'm going to be like right there every day. But yeah, they got original Gatling gun, and they got one of the original artillery pieces that was one of the first to fire the self-contained metallic cartridge, which just looks almost like a 20 millimeter, but a little bit bigger. Oh, Todd's in the house. So yeah, 6-shooter Trapper's in, Todd's in. Todd, no, I'm not gonna do, because the Park Service to film, and technically being it'd be going on YouTube and get monetized, I would need to do a special use permit, but right now there's some legal stuff with that. So on the downside, no, I'm not going to be filming anything from where I work at, unless I just do a little quick snippet on my cell phone. No like professional quality big camera stuff. I might take a quick shot of the Gatling gun and post it. But yeah, things they charge, and the minimum to charge for the park is $125, and that's for a day. And that's with no interference and stuff, or you're not interfering on the park, I should say. It's just not realistic to do it from my end. And plus, then there's kind of that personal bias because I work there. So yeah, I won't be filming anything from the park. Unless I manage to get in on a day that I go as a civilian when they fire the cannon. I might post one of them, but from the sound of it, I'm going to be working every day that they fire that big gun. So I'll probably be firing the big gun about every day. Anyway, yeah, I probably won't be filming anything from the park. Trapper, yeah, I'm planning on doing some footage from Wyoming. Eventually, I'm going to get there. May not be shooting footage, might be fishing stuff. Because I didn't bring any ammo up with me other than what I could carry in a couple mags and some those little stripper clips for revolvers. I didn't bring any of the other stuff. I didn't bring my black powder because, I drive that little bitty silver Jeep. Had to kind of keep space in mind. But yeah, I'm gonna get out and I'll try to do a video outside this year. I'll make it a goal to do that. And Jeffrey Davis is in. Todd B. should visit some Indian war sites and film there. Yeah, and I'm planning on going up to Fort Phil Kearny where the Fetterman massacre occurred, and try to do that. I'd like to get over to Fort Robinson, where they got Crazy Horse, and if I can get over to the Museum of the Fur Trade, that'd be all right. But those are over in Nebraska. But yeah, I'd like to do that. It's going to be, do I have the time and do I have the money? Like I said earlier, I got to put a new clutch and throwout bearing in the Jeep. Throwout bearing's cheap. It's $50. Clutch, the only clutch I can find comes with a throwout bearing with it. So as a kit, it's about $300. Just about. And the nice thing is my landlord said that he had a jack that he had used for a transmission jack. So, and he said he had the garage over there. So, I won't have to take it to the service center and spend the big bucks to fix it. I can fix it on the cheap. But, yeah, like I said, I like to get up there. I don't think I'd make it to Little Bighorn this year, but I'm going to definitely try to get around and see some places. I stopped by when I was driving around today. I stopped by and looked at a little thing they had on the Cheyenne Deadwood stagecoach, which ran right past Fort Laramie. So Wild Bill Hickok came through. A lot of Western figures coming through Fort Laramie. See, Gabriel Gertson. Hey, can I use cap guns? I can't. Cap gun caps. I can't find any percussion caps anywhere I really want to shoot. Well, that discussion has been had amongst a lot of us. There are those of us that say it works. I've tried it. they went off. I don't know if they go off. I just did them blank. The only thing I could see is I'm not having enough fire to ignite the powder. And the other thing you got to remember is they put a small amount of sand in with those things when they make them. Keep that in mind. That being said, give it a try, see if it works. If it doesn't work, oh well. Just have to unscrew them and pull the powder out, or wait till you find caps to get it to go off. Garrett Wood says we would pay for a day if we could see you and Bill Brazelton shooting that big gun. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a 4-man cannon, man. Yeah, but I don't think my supervisors would allow that to go through. And I'm pretty sure the superintendent of the park would not allow that. Now, if I wasn't working there and I wanted to pay them, yeah, then they would pay. See, that would require me to have park staff doing something that'd be taking them away from their job technically. So then that would probably get up to about a $500 to $600 special use permit. So yeah, that would be fun. Put Bill in there and have him fire the cannon, or have Bill firing the Gatling gun. If I get a couple shots of the Gatling gun, I might just incorporate them in a video somehow, just pictures. All right, Gable, glad to have you here. Gabriel, glad to have you subscribe. Yeah, let me talk around. Maybe I can pull some strings and might get a video of the cannon firing. Don't count on it. But if you do, it'll be the biggest black powder gun that has gone off on my channel anyway. I won't say the entirety of YouTube because I'm pretty sure there's guys out there that's got a lot of cannon videos of their own. But yeah. But yeah, we got to do a lot of drilling. But it's going to be after Memorial Day before we can shoot it. I'll tell you what, Garrett, if you come up there, because you'd mentioned something about coming up to Wyoming, we'd talked before. If you can come up here on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come up on the weekend and just bring your little camera, I'm sure you could film it. And then, because there's people that have traveled through here that have posted that stuff on YouTube, and they really don't get too uppity about it unless you're advertising on TV and making mucho dinero off of it. They don't get. We'll see it, Thomas. I don't think they get too terrible persnickety about it, but yeah, if you make it up here, bring the camera. If I'm firing on the cannon that day, we'll get you in. Oh, we'll get it for you. Okay, Gabriel. Jeffrey Davis answered on your toy caps, which I did have them go off on that one that I stuck them on, but I don't remember. That's been so long ago. If I remember right, I think they wound up jammed inside the nipple. Because that was, God, when the hell was it that I did that? It was a long time ago. No, it wasn't the plastic caps we did. It was those paper strip caps. And I sit there and held it over the, now I remember. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, that was one of those nights that, yeah, that was, anyway, yeah, we had the little strip of toy gun caps, like the Maynard primer strip, because one of my buddies had bought a bunch of those to try to make something out of them. And anyway, I stuck one of those up there in front of the hammer and did it, and it fired. I didn't have powder in the gun, but yeah, it fired. Yeah, I remember that now. So it was not the plastic cap. Yeah, Garrett, when you get there, just make sure to ask a ranger if they would be a problem with it being posted, but I don't think they would get too uppity because, like I said, there is a lot I shouldn't say a lot. There's quite a few videos of the cannon being fired at Fort Laramie on YouTube from years past. But yeah, I'll get to fire it. I'll get to fire a Springfield trapdoor, which is Pedersoli copy because can't fire originals. May or may not get to fire the single action army, which got my own. What difference does it make? Yeah, there you go, Garrett. Being's not monetized. That'll probably get you a green light real easy. See, I monetized because I thought maybe I can make enough for the channel to pay for itself. And, you know, I'm not making all that. One of the reasons why videos kind of slowed down too. That and YouTube just in general is pissing me off. But right now, it used to be that if you monetize, that was the only time that you saw ads on the videos. Well, then about a year ago, I think it was, YouTube changed that. So they run ads on videos no matter whether you're monetized or not. So what I've been telling people that ask my opinion on it is monetize anyway, because they're going to make money off of it anyways, without giving you a pinch or not. So you might as well get your pinch of the money. But yeah, I was kind of at the point, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to monetize. I don't want to put up with that BS. And I thought, you know, maybe I can make this thing pay for itself. And if I was to upload and dedicate more time to it, I probably could make it pay for itself. But I just got too much going on. Too many hobbies, especially this leather thing. But this leather hobby is one of the few hobbies I've got that actually does pay for itself. And it's been doing quite well. Never ever thought that I would get to the point of being a leather worker doing this stuff. Then I decided that I needed to buy leather to make my own holster. And then I thought, well, maybe I can make money off of this. And the next thing you know, bam. Not quite enough to declare it a business, but enough to pay, like I said, pay for itself. And sometimes I get a little extra, I can buy something. So, well, we had a slight blow up in visitation there for a few minutes. Still sitting at 10, which ain't terrible. But I figured on a Monday night there probably wouldn't be a lot going on. I don't know if Living History Comes Alive was having one tonight. Usually he's done by the time I think about doing these anyway. And my YouTube's still telling me that Dustin Weiniger is live, and he hasn't been live since 3:30. Well, now it finally changed. So, yeah, it's a little slow, but that's all right. Yeah, hopefully here I'm going to order some leather here coming up in the next week or two. I'm probably going to order it in 2 weeks, but I'm going to be ordering some Neat Sweat and stuff to get going. Let's see, Jeffrey Davis. I bought a $50 holster kit used from Hobby Lobby. It was pretty fun to build. Used shoe polish to color. Yeah, that's an easy way to do it. Yeah, I bought a couple kits. That was actually the first ones I bought. I bought a couple kits. I think it was $25 a piece. I bought one for the walker, and I bought one for the pocket models. And the pocket model was 2 holsters in one kit. I think Bing's, because that company was just about to go out of business, I think they was just throwing some extra stuff in there to get it out of stock. Anyway, yeah, I got a Gus style walker holster that I wound up adapting. Used it as kind of a starting point for the walker holster that I sell. So I kind of made some alterations that I thought were improvements. That was my opinion anyway. But I used that, and then After I did that, I thought, it'd be nice to have a couple Mexican loop holsters, and them were all real expensive, and I couldn't find a pattern online. So I posted on Facebook, and fellow living historian, reenactor, who I'm friends with on Facebook, got a hold of me, and he said, "Yeah," he says, "I got a couple patterns. What do you want?" And I said, "Oh, I want one for 4 3/4 inch, and one for conversion, 1860 Richards Mason conversion, 8-inch barrel." And he sent me 2 patterns, and the one for the Richards Mason conversion, it never really fit. It was more size for the 1860. It didn't work with the ejector rod. I still got that pattern, and I'm gonna thinking about pulling it out and making the body into a Slim Jim. And then the 4 3/4 worked great. Then after that, it was just like wham. Oh, excuse me. Oh, so I started adapting patterns off of that. And then with the 1860 Army and the Remington, I learned how to make patterns. And basically, it's real simple. You just draw a line, lay your gun on it, front sight lined up, back. In the case of single actions, back hammer lined up on the line, and then you just roll it to one side, trace out the gun, and then you got your half of your pattern done once you kind of get the body shape. But yeah, and everything kind of rolled after that. But yeah, who would have thought? Just a simple thing is trying to make holsters for myself, and then I had the idea, oh, I can make money doing this. I can make all this stuff pay for itself. The more holsters I can sell, the more I can afford to make for me, and then I don't hardly keep any of them. But anyway, see, Gabriel says, I'm really new to black powder. I bought a steel frame because everyone said the brass frame stretched, but I keep saying really cheap frame brass frames will get a year out of it if I buy it. I wouldn't buy the brass. See, I started with a brass frame, and what stretches is actually it's the cylinder just peens itself back into the frame to the point that the frame, it wiggles and you can't fix it. You're not really stretching the frame. You just peening that brass back in on that ratchet, and it's going to start setting further and further back. And there's probably some stretch too that occurs with the arbor pin going out. But there is a small window of what brass frame revolvers existed, of which 90%, I'm going to take a wild guess on that number, 90% of these are in the time frame from the start and into the Civil War that they're produced. After that, there's not a lot, if any. You probably see a few survivors from the Civil War out there moving around, but even then, those weren't made in any great number compared to Colts or Remingtons or Stars. So yeah, brass frame, it looks pretty. It looks really pretty. But I would go with steel frame just for one. You do have a little added strength. You can put a cartridge conversion in a brass or in a steel frame, not a brass frame. Don't ever put a cartridge conversion in a brass frame. And it's gonna last longer, and it's more historically accurate. Not to say that brass frames did not exist, but they just did not exist to the extent that has been depicted in Hollywood and a lot of pop culture. And I read this on a forum group. And I think, Gunnison Griswolds, there was quite a few of those brass frame ones that went out compared to some of the others. But the Schneider and Glassick is what the 1851 Navy brass frame is actually a copy of. And there's not a whole lot of them made at all. Yeah, Garrett, they just made a Griswold and Gunnison out of one. And they made an accurate Griswold and Gunnison. Not accurate in shooting style, but accurate in how it looks. With the grip frame and everything. That would be the only brass frame that I'd be willing to buy nowadays. But That's just my opinion. If you do what you want to do, but that's just my opinion. I wouldn't get the brass. That's how it started. I started out with, I had a brass frame gun. I still got that thing laying around somewhere. I don't know where it was at. It's been kicked around and abused and neglected. And if it had feelings, it'd probably hate me and run away and go find another family who loved it. But it doesn't have any internals in it. It's just got a trigger and a hammer. Yeah, 6 shooter there. Yeah, don't load hot loads with a 36. You're not going to get that hot with it. But mine was a 44, and I was running full 28 grain charges out of it, and yeah, it stretched it a little bit. But honestly, though, the way I would see it is, the brass frame, eventually you're going to have to replace it once you shoot it out. By then, you have paid for 2 brass frame guns, and the cost of those 2 brass frame guns will exceed the cost of the steel frame gun, so why not buy the steel frame gun? Unless you plan on playing a Confederate officer in the Civil War, why get brass? And even in the Civil War, the Confederate, like Mosby's crowd and a lot of the Missouri guerrillas weren't carrying brass frame revolvers. They were stealing them off the Yankees they were killing. They were stealing off Colts and Remingtons because there's a couple accounts of the guerrillas saying they preferred Colts. Mosby said he preferred the Colt, and he said that he got them at the expense of the Yankee cavalrymen. So yeah, brass frames just weren't all that abundant. Well, there you go, 6-shooter. Yeah, you didn't have to spend money on them. And if somebody offered to give me a brass frame gun, I would not turn it down. I'd take that. Hell, who doesn't want a free gun? That's better than free beer. The only thing better than free beer is free ammo. And that ain't going to happen. Yep, Jeff. Yeah, you're not really saving all that much money, to be honest. And the only real reason the brass frame revolvers were produced in the South during the Civil War is they couldn't find the iron. And what iron they had to use to build the other parts of the gun with. So they decided, okay, we can make these parts out of brass. Let's make them out of brass. It's a good thing they didn't find out that you make a barrel out of brass too. There for a long time, the British Navy made brass-barreled guns, and they do work as long as you don't get too wild with your charge. But eventually, they'll go. That's why there's not too many surviving examples. All right. Howdy, Sean. Well, glad to have you here. Yeah, Garrett, Spiller and Burr would be a good brass one because that's got a full frame on there. But even then, they're still limited window of what they was. And I'm speaking from living historian perspective. When I go to buy a cap and ball air gun, it's like, all right, what time frame can this work for? So 1840s is anything I'm going to do between 1840 and 1850 is probably going to be a Patterson. because that one was the only one. There wasn't a great number of them available, but they're talked about in the West a lot more than they are back East. Because I'm out in the West, it would be fitting. Between 1850-ish and all the way up until 1870s, 51 Navy, 49 Pocket, Dragoon, all of them would work great for living history impression. Between 1860 through the 1870s, 1860 Army would work good. You just gotta, think about what time frame they would work in. Anything Civil War is going to be after Civil War stuff. Yep, 11 Bang Bang. Yep, the Ketlins. That was one of the ones I was referencing. I should say I had that in mind when I was referred to them, to the brass barrel guns. Yeah, the Ketlin. And Ketlin trade pistols out here in the West, there was a lot of those, but there's only one company making them, and I think that's at Middlesex Village. I think it's the same company that makes your guys' Bess and Fusil de Chasse is the same company that makes this Ketlin. And there were some Besses that they experimented with brass barrels on. So there was they were out there, just not a lot of them, except for the trade pistols. There was a few of them that went around, but they all just didn't survive. All right. Kevin Collar's in. I see me again today. Oh, yeah, I was. Yeah, because I was over on Dustin's chat earlier. Yeah, I was in the chat, the side chat. And there's Plowboy. Brass frame Confederate revolvers are actually more gunmetal, red brass, closer to bronze than real brass of today. Yeah, there was a higher amount of copper in them. Because if you look at some of them original Gunnison Griswolds, they've got that pink hue to them. Because what happens when you're heating brass is a mixture of copper and zinc. When you're heating brass, the zinc burns off. And it'll leave the copper behind. So you got to keep adding either new brass in or adding zinc in. Well, imagine heating that stuff up for these big revolvers. A lot of that zinc's going to burn out. By the time you pour it, your revolvers are going to have a lot of copper in them. Gabriel, no. I don't know why you would want to modify a 61 to take a 60 Army cylinder. If you're going to do that, just buy the 61 Army. The 1860 Army. You can put, I don't recommend it, but you can put a Navy cylinder and barrel on an Army frame. But don't go the other way. Because just buy the gun by the time you buy the parts anyway. Hell, by the time you buy a cylinder and a barrel, you have paid for 2/3 of the gun. You might as well just paid the $289 or $300, whatever they're going for. I think birdies are going in the ballpark of about $300 right now. Gabriel. So the brass frame 1860 Armies, they did make those. They were limited. They were civilian stock. The grip frame, the brass grip frame. Now the brass frame, yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. Let me clarify that. The brass grip frame on the 1860. So what goes in your hand? They did have those. But if the part that holds all the parts of the gun parts together is brass, that's not right. Yeah, Jeffrey, I know zinc. I use that, and I think that's what they use in galvanizing steel. Yeah, I've sucked that stuff down my lungs enough. That's not fun. And Microsoft is throwing a fit. Let me look here, because I think Midway did have what they called civilian 1860 armies, which is brass grip frame, not full frame, brass grip frame. Well, they got a Pierre the Sheriff, and it's house talk. Never mind. Ubelti. Let's see what they have that is under the available. Oh, they've only got 3 available models. Pocket models. Great. Jesus, they don't want nothing for that squareback baby Dragoon. 369. Screw that. Wells Fargo 330. I don't know why them ones are so damn expensive. They're more expensive than the 51 Navy that I bought anyway. But out of stock, no back order. Out of stock, no back order. I'll screw you. Jeff, you come across an 1860 Army that's just got the brass grip frame, that would be all right. But the main frame needs to be, to be historically accurate. I don't say it need to be, but be historically accurate, it's got to be a steel frame. Yeah, 349 was what they had on that, but they're out of stock. I'd love to find one with a fluted cylinder. I think I'm going to buy a fluted cylinder this summer if I can find one. It's a buddy of mine posting there. If I could find a fluted cylinder, that'd be awesome. Okay, now I got to catch up. So, yeah, Garrett asked that question of Kevin, which I hadn't got a chance to yet. Okay, Garrett's got a lead there for you for 1860. Gabriel. Jeffrey Davis, I'm saying for you, Birdie, 1849. Yeah. If you do that, get the slick shots to go with it, unless you're buying it for living history purposes, in which case, don't do the slick shots. But I got some slick shots I ordered that are going to come in, and if I can find powder cap and ball up here, I'll do a video with that. There's supposedly a place to go shoot just north of the house here. I tried to go up there, and it's a canal road, so I went driving around up north, and I think I missed the road that was where they went, but there's a big hill up north of where I live at, and that's where they say everybody goes to shoot. And they said you can tell it's where all the broken glass is at. But I'm gonna run up there if I get a chance tomorrow, depending on what I'm doing, because like I said, I gotta call the vet to call for the dog. I gotta run over and I gotta buy batteries for one. I gotta go get batteries. I need to look into my fishing license. I gotta pay some part of my rent that I had from the end of April because all the adulting stuff. Oh, and I gotta go to the post office, which I gotta make sure to do that before going anywhere else because I forgot to do that today. Okay. Gabriel says Bud K is selling black powder guns. Okay, that's a good source then. I don't know who Bud K is, but I shouldn't say it's a good source. There is a source. Plowboy hasn't shot his 73 carbine. Oh, you got a 73 carbine? Lucky duck. I would like to shoot one, but I don't think I'd want to own one. It's kind of like the Remington revolver. It's just like, why? I should have specified the Remington revolving carbine. Why buy that when you get a 66 Yellow Boy? Shoot the same cartridge that's similar in power, and you get 10 shells instead of 6. Oh, Plowboy, that's great. I'll show that comment. Yeah, that's fun. That's funny. All right. Gabriel, no, 357 don't work in a black powder 36 because a black powder 36 is 375. So no, those won't work. Hey, Gabriel, no worries. We like questions around here, and you'll find most people. If I can't come up with an answer, somebody on here will have one, or if I'm wrong, somebody out here will point it out. Yeah, we don't mind questions here. It's kind of why I do these things. For one, is for anybody's got questions, maybe I can help them out. All right. So I guess it's time I need to put up my. So if you want to order holsters, and I'm still working on trying to get a catalog made. As every time I open up the packing iron book, I find another thing. Oh, I need to make that. Oh, I need to make this. I need to make this. So I don't have a catalog yet, but if you go over and check us out on Duke Frazier Holsters on Instagram, that's where I've got a lot of pictures of stuff posted that I've made. I think I've got most of the stuff that I make over there. I can double check that right quick. Means my phone still got some battery juice left in it. Yeah, Plowboy fake the. Try not to fake the answer. We might come up with an idea or a theory, and then if I remember on that theory, I'll come back and find an answer for it. Yeah, we're like Kevin said there, we were all new at one time. And a lot of stuff that I've learned was through the School of Hard Knocks. But I went over and joined what was that? Oh, there's a bunch of black powder groups over on Facebook. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I've learned a lot through them. Mike Bellevue's been a great source. Yeah, Mike Bellevue was a really, really good source for me for a lot of that. We're all new. We all need help one way or the other. Or I shouldn't say one way, sometime or another. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask a question around here. Now there's a joke that goes around the living history department of this. I'm trying to do two things at once here. There's a saying that the only dumb question is one that's not asked. But then you get to living history reenactment, and then you're like, yeah, well, that doesn't apply because you always get asked, is that real? Is that real? Is that real? Is that a real fire? Is that real water? Are you actually going to eat that? Is that a real gun? Is that your real hair? Is that your real beard? Is that your real hat? Is that a real horse? Did he just take a real shit? Oops, because, oh well. Anyway, yeah. As long as you're not getting that level, we're good. No, you're fine. Don't worry about it, Gabriel. Let me read the comments here. My glasses are dirty, so I can't see with them on. Can't see with them on when they're clean anyway. Always says the last 3 or 4 guns I've bought most recently are getting jealous. Yeah, I wished I kind of. So I bought a safe. I've mentioned that before. I bought a safe not too long before I moved up here. And I was thinking the other day, if I hadn't bought that safe, or what I gave for that safe, I could have bought a Schofield or a number 3 first model. And it's like, did I make the right choice? And yeah, I'm glad I bought the safe. I'm damn glad I bought the safe. But same time, it's like, yeah, I wish I could have bought another gun. Been so long since I bought a gun that, oh, I just, that feeling a new gun. But, all the other ones that I've got would get jealous. But I screwed up and I didn't bring my Walker with me. I was going to bring a Walker for just holster making purposes, and I didn't. I got 2 Dragoons, so I don't know how I screwed that up. Oh, let's see. Nice, Kevin. I'd like to get a 20-inch or a carbine 1866 Yellow Boy for living history stuff. Because that would be a good one for just getting into the post-Civil War stuff. One of the things I was trying to put together while I'm out here is I want to try to put together a scout living history impression. So a former trapper or trader that has gone to scouting. Now you do a scout for 1840s for Oregon Trail, or even into the 1850s, Oregon and California Trail. Could do a scout for the Army, 1860s and 70s. But I thought, yeah, that one and a Sharps carbine too would be good combinations for that portrayal. But anyway, let me double check here on my thing because, like I said, I think I've got most of what I offer on there. And I don't actually have a lot of pictures. So there's that Schofield. And then there's one of the 5.5-inch Cheyenne style. I just realized had a ding in it now looking at this picture. Crap. Ooh, boy. Well, anyway. There's the Walker Gus. There's that round-nosed thingamabopper. There's the 5160 Army Cross. There's a triple loop Schofield, which if y'all looking for a holster that's kind of universal, the Schofield holster will fit 73 single actions just fine. But the 73 single action the ones made for specifically for that, don't cross over. You can go one way, you can't go the other, and mostly because it's that cutout for the release. Because the Schofield's got that funky release on it. Let's see. We'll see you later, 6 shooter. Yeah, Kevin, a rolling block would be okay for what I was thinking of. But I was thinking, if I could do because the rolling block didn't come out until now, it's eluding me, but it was. I know there's a lot of rolling blocks in the 70s. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking Sharps carbine for. Actually, I got to do Sharps carbine. If I could find one that was close to what the 51 Sharps carbine, or not carbine, excuse me, the 51 Sharps sporting rifle was. They got one of those at work, and they're very, very rare. Yeah, I could do that all the way through. Thing of it is that the Sharps in that era, a lot of them had the slant breech. 59 Sharps has got the straight up and down, so I don't know if I could use that 59 Sharps and apply it to pre-59 purposes. Let's see. I'll tell you what, Plowboy, if you decide to buy the 73, oh, you did buy it. Never mind. I see that now. My new 73 are going to. Well, if you want to separate them so they don't get in a fight, I'll gladly adopt a 66 Yellow Boy. Let's see. Gabriel, I've never heard of them being cleaned with olive oil. You can lubricate it with olive oil. I don't see why you couldn't do that. Except, olive oil is probably going to attract more dust particles and stuff and dirt. But for cleaning purposes, Ballistol is the best. Followed closely by hot water and soap. Either way, you need to make sure it's dried completely and thoroughly oiled after cleaning. And I like the Ballistol because the Ballistol just kind of it penetrates into the metal pores a lot easier. Yeah. Anything that's going to keep the water off it is a good thing, except for petroleum, because when you shoot the black powder with the petroleum, it's going to turn into hard cake, and then that's really going to screw up again. Yeah, and lard would work okay as long as it's not got salt in it. So pork lard ain't that great for lube, but just if you use olive oil, just remember it's going to gum up and attract dirt at some point in time. And let's see, I think I got most of what I offer for holsters on the Facebook page here. Wish I had better pictures on some of these. So yeah, if you go on the Instagram, boy, that's a holster that, God, then that picture didn't show everything either. God dang it. No, I didn't want to like my own damn picture, you SOB. Anyway, some of these pictures, yeah, Instagram kind of screwed them up. Just have to check that out. And of course, if you got a model that you don't see on there or want to know what else I got, send me an email. I will send you pictures. I'm glad to send pictures. Oh, let's see. Who the heck is this person? That's the leather company. Let's see what they're doing. Oh, they actually make leather. Never mind. All right. Check one more thing while I got my phone in front of me because it's sending me blinking messages and stuff. I'm going to watch on the scroll back. I see Early's with us. I'm glad Plowboy liked my adopt comment. Let's see. Kevin says I've been in Facebook jail again. Yeah, I got in there once for posting the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Yeah, Jeff, that's the thing. You got to clean the internals. I'm of the opinion that if you're shooting it on a regular basis, clean it once a week, twice a week. If you're shooting it that often, works. If you're shooting it once every 6 months or once a year, clean it every time. Just basically don't let it sit without fouling on the inside for a long time. I let one of my first walker sit like that, and it's a good thing those parts are a lot more beefy. But yeah, that damn thing, I soaked that in Ballistol for 2 days, then scrubbed the living heck out of it, and nothing. It did not pit. Nothing was pitted, but it had a lot of surface rust in it. All right. All right, Gabriel. Well, we're glad to have helped you out. And if you have any other questions, don't feel free to holler at us. Don't hesitate. God, I must be getting late. I'm getting tongue-tied something fierce tonight. Hunter found out I could order a walker from Uberti straight out to my house. Nice. That is really nice. Makes life really simple. All right. Oh, freaking cell phones. Pain in the butt. It's about to die anyway. All right. So, yeah, we've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes. That ain't too terrible bad. Hunter, Google flagged your comment. I think I'll leave it covered up, but I agree with you. I really do. Oh, what the hell, I'll show it. Oh, shit, this ain't a damn touchscreen. So the computers I got at work are touchscreen. So I've been using touchscreens, and then I come home, and then I try to do touchscreen on this thing, and it's not a touchscreen. It's a pain in the ass. Why can't we find one freaking technology and just stay with the son of a bitch? Hey. So yeah, there you got my unfiltered opinion on technology. I just realized I cursed then too. Well, Hunter, the only good thing about Connecticut is that's where Colt's at, and the original Colt factory. And I got a real close friend that lives out there in Connecticut. That's the only two things Connecticut's got going for it for me. Trust me, I would prefer that my friend lived closer by, but no, she's an Eastern girl. She's a city girl, so. And I preferred the Colt factory is close by, but there ain't much I can do about that either. Hey, Randy's in the house. All right, I gotta stretch out a little bit. My back is kind of bugging me sitting here in this chair. I don't know why I'm so daggum tired. All I did was drive the pups around today. Did some stuff around the house. I didn't mow the lawn like I wanted to. I'm going to have to do that before it gets 10 foot tall. Kip, that's a good one. Oh, that was I like that newfangled opposable thumbs. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Hunter, the Colt factory got put into the National Park Service, so it was supposed to be starting up. I don't know if it's done it or not, but it's Coltsville National Historic Site, I believe. And the last I looked, they were still in the process of establishing the park, and that's been a few years ago because there's still some legal battle of who owns what. But yeah, our former president, Donald Trump, signed that in, made that a park. But like I said, I don't think it's open yet. Why don't we do some investigative research? Well, let's just look it up. Anybody wonders why this thing's bouncing, it's because I got this thing set on a basket that's supposed to let air get to the computer so it doesn't get as hot as it usually does. And it frickin' rocks around all the time. All right. Coltsville National Historic Park in Hartford, Connecticut. Hey, it's open. Whoever wrote that's an idiot. Anyway. Yeah, so it looks like it's open. They got some stuff going on. Oh, they're running it through Springfield Armory. I see how they're doing it. That's how they're doing it. Well, they're operating out of Springfield. Oh, well. Hopefully they get that thing up and going and get it organized so it'll make something decent. All right. Let's see. Ha! Living Bang Bang says now there's a new CZ factory in Connecticut. That's funny. Let's see. Jeffrey Davis said when I saw a Midway package on my door, I was so excited. It was my Walker. My dad said it was like a caricature of a normal Colt Captain Ball. Nice. All right. All right. Well, we're up to 15 on the chat. I think we hit 17 earlier. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention real close. My doggies are telling me it's time to go to bed. They're over here wanting to lick my hand. Are licking my hand. So, what's the matter, girls? What's the matter? You want to go to bed? he says, "Oh, I'm going to cast bullets." I haven't cast bullets in a long time. In fact, now that I think of it, my bullet furnace is outside. It's probably all rusted up to hell and probably won't even cast a damn bullet. Shit. If that's the case. Oh, boy, that's $110 out the door. Yeah, I just haven't remembered. I never put my lead pot away, and that's been a couple of years since I cast anything. Well, leave it to me. I'm a dumbass. Hey, West Covina. Well, even if you're stopping in for a quick bit, we're glad to have you here. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. So the older dog, she's got floppy ears that are real long. Well, they both got floppy ears, but her collar sits a little looser on her, and it's got a flap on it that flips around. And then the other one here, the young one, being she don't always pay attention to what I'm telling her, and she was abused pretty heavy, so she gets real scared easy. And sometimes when I'm trying to teach her something, she gets scared and tries to run off. I've got the collars about that long hanging off of her. So when they get to flopping, yeah, you can hear them from a mile away. Right now, I opened the extra bedroom up just to make sure that everything was good over there and didn't shut the door, so the dogs are in there sniffing around, probably wondering why the mattress ain't on the floor for them to curl up on. And dogs are so bedbound, it ain't even funny. I don't even get much of a bed anymore. I got a full-size bed in the bedroom, and I only get a portion of it. Gracie takes up enough space for 4 dogs. All right. And this is Dolly. She got to come up and get her lovin's. She's telling me it's time for bed. Go on, get out. Get out. You weren't invited up here. Get out. Hunter Bonnie says, I had my second shot the other day. Towards the end of the day, I had a slight headache. Now it's just a bit of a slight of lightheadedness. Yeah. I haven't even got my first shot yet. I'm reluctant to do so. But I imagine I'm probably going to have to do it before they start charging me money. West Covina said, I just got 2K SPP and 300 pounds of lead going to cast 9mm. Holy crap. Lucky. Wish I had 300 pounds of lead. Well, I probably got 600 pounds of lead at home, but I never turned down free lead. Hunter said Plowboy said, hey, second shot this past Wednesday. I had a low-grade fever for a couple days or so. Yeah, not any other problems. Yeah, I'm just reluctant to get the shot. I really am. Oh, Garrett says, hey, Duke, tell us a bedtime story about the long-lost Pattersons lost in a cave going a far away. I hadn't heard about the lost Pattersons in a cave. I heard about the lost Dragoons in a cave somewhere down in Arizona. So this was just after the Mexican War. The Dragoons got lost fighting the Apaches, and they had a crate of Dragoon revolvers. And yeah, they got into a cave with the revolvers and keep the Apaches from getting them. They buried them in the cave, and then the survivors went on. And when they come back to the cave, they couldn't find the cave, and they couldn't find the revolvers. So imagine the Apaches got them anyway. But yeah, there's that story. And then a lot of the Pattersons that got lost during the Mexican War, a good portion of them got dumped in the Rio Grande. Probably more so by accident. But yeah, and Kearney did lose quite a few Pattersons during the Mexican War when he took the Dragoons out to California. But the Dragoon revolvers that were lost, that was 1850s. I want to say 58. God, I don't remember. But yeah, it was a crate of them. However many was in a crate, 24. I don't remember. Okay, let's see. Hunter Bunny says, never wanted to get the shot. My mom made me do it. Yeah, well, government may be making me do it, but that's because I work for the government, so. Yeah, I really don't want to do it, but I guess I'm going to have to. I suppose the government makes me do it. I can use the government car, and then I drive a nice car over there, do it on government time, get paid for it. Let's see. Kevin says, when we moved in December, some young guys almost died when they tried to pick up 2 5-gallon buckets of wheel weights. Yeah, but that was fun. Half-gallon bucket of wheel weights is heavy enough as it is, about enough to tear out the bottom of the bucket. Playboy says, I was the last in my household to get it. Figured if my wife and 19-year-old wasn't scared. My uncle, he's been hesitant to get it, and he just got COVID. Of course, whole family's had COVID. Well, we got it in the spring last year when it was going around. He didn't get it. We got it in the fall in December, and he didn't get it. And then Grandma got her shots. And last week, I guess the whole family down there got it. He hadn't had his shots yet, so I guess he was the one, he got hit the hardest out of them all. But yeah, way I see it is that nature vaccinated me twice, but I don't fly. And the other reason why I'm thinking about getting the shot is they released a new thing on the mask order. You don't have to wear masks if you've been vaccinated in the last 2 weeks. So if I don't have to wear a mask, it might be worth it. Jeffrey is here. Tried gold panning. Yeah, I did a little bit when I was in college up in the Black Hills. Never got much. Well, didn't get anything but, froze fingers, frostbite. Buddy of mine found a flake that was worth about $5. We know a guy that had a, excuse me, he was working a claim down by Custer, and I was talking to him. This was in the 10th of January, and he was panning. I asked him if he was doing any good, and he said, yeah. He says, I cleared about $10,000 this year. I was like, holy crap. $10,000 in 10 days into the year. That's doing pretty good. He was down where the initial gold find, where Custer found the initial gold at. And yeah, that was, there's still some good working claims down there for panning, if you know where to go. Thing is, you don't know where to go, and the ones that are good working gold claims, they get bid out fast. All right, Hunter, we'll catch you next time. Yeah, Trapper gases. Not fun. I just filled up. I paid $3 a gallon for mid-grade, which was the 87 octane. 85 octane was like $2.60 something. That figured if no more than what I was buying, I'd buy the higher grade. I get a little bit more mileage out of it. But yeah, you pretty much have to. If you got to drive a lot, you're going to need a gold claim to pay for that. I mean, just like under the Obama days, the only time gas went low, and this is what pissed me off under Obama. The only time that gas went low under the Obama administration is when Russia pissed off Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia just cut off gas production. And freaking price of gas went down here in the U.S. I think that was when it got down to almost $1 a gallon. But it also depends a lot on where you're at, too. I don't know how it is now, but a couple weeks ago, a buddy of mine out in Kansas said that he could fill up for, a 20-gallon tank for under $20. I think it was about $1 a gallon down there, but I don't know. That could have been ethanol too. I don't know. Yeah. There you go, Plowboy. For the diesel. Yeah. I've known a few people to do that. They get caught at a road inspection, which I don't think they do those too much anymore. But yeah, that red stuff when it gets in the engine burns just as good as the clear. Yeah, Garrett. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah. Well, I wasn't working the rigs. I was trying to graduate with a degree in petroleum so I could tell the people where to drill the rigs at. I thought I'd get a starting salary of 50 grand a year just to sit in the office and make sure we were in the right rock unit. And those low gas prices sure screwed that up. Holy crap, West Covina, that's ridiculous. Oh man. That's terrible for gas. I'm glad I don't live in California. But out there in California, I imagine you got enough taxes on that crap, but that's probably why the price is so high. Getting to be like Colorado, tax you for everything. I remember listening to frickin' Governor Polass whine last year after the election because the state didn't vote in for the new taxes for road maintenance. They were going to tax the entire state of Colorado to fix Denver's roads. It's like, I'm not voting to fix Denver's roads, not when you're letting my roads fall to shit out here in the middle of nowhere. Asshole. Start taking that money I pay in taxes and fix my roads, god damn it. Let Denver pay their own taxes for their own freaking road. Yeah, Paul, you're not far off. Yeah, I was going to try to not get political on these chats, but yeah, it got political. That's all right. I think we all pretty much agree anyway over here. But yeah. Taxes to death. That's why I'm going to get Wyoming residency while I'm up here. I'm going to do it after I draw my hunting tags. That way I can keep my resident prices on my hunting tags for Colorado. But then I won't have to worry about paying Colorado their damn taxes next year. Assholes. Actually, technically, I have not worked in Colorado this year, so I don't have to file taxes in Colorado. Yeah, Jeff, I got the action smooth, but it still cap sucks like crazy. But yeah, I've got some slick shots coming for it. Slick shots have got pocket model nipples now, so they're on the way. All right. Well, Bangs, it's 139. Or Jesus Christ, it's not 139. We've been on for an hour and 39. God dang. It's time to go to bed. Yeah, Gary, you can see Wyoming just passed complete concealed carry, so non-residents can conceal carry up here too without a permit, but that don't take effect of July 1st, so I got to wait a month and a half for that one. But yeah, there's a lot of that starting up. That's moving along. If we could just get constitutional carry, that would be even better. But Bangs, I'm about to conk out, and my mind's not functioning right. I think we're going to shut it off here like the next minute and a half here. So any last minute questions, go ahead and get them in. Yeah, Kevin, that's one thing I see of the 49ers. It's kind of small for my hands too, but I'm able to manage it. The 51 Navy fits real good. Yep, you have a good night as well. So yeah, we're gonna shut her down here. So yeah, if you need to order a holster, email is right there. If you want to know what I got to offer, check out the Duke Frazier holsters on Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, just send me an email. I'll be glad to find out what you're looking for, what kind of gun you got, and what I can offer for that. And I can start taking orders at any time. Probably going to be up to 3-month lead time on production, just because I only got 2 days a week to do stuff, and I've got to do my other stuff, have my entertainment too in there. Yeah, if you want to put in an order, and like I said, I do not take payment until I'm ready to ship. Payment is still currently through PayPal until I can find another venue, and I may just start going to cash and or check and money order. But anyway, so yeah, if you have any other questions, that you didn't get to ask while we were live, anybody that's watching afterwards, just throw them down there on the comment section down below. So anyway, y'all take care. Have a good night. God bless y'all. Be sure to stay tuned, and remember, keep your powder dry.